Hello everyone, these are two separate LEGO Technic sets that are sold independently. I'm covering both of them in one review here. On the left, the green one is called WHACK. On the right, the red one is called Bash. Those are their actual names. I would never make up something like that. A little bit of throwback to some of their Technic, kind of pseudo-living being themes that they've had in the past. Both of these are pullback motor based things, so pull back a little bit and it's able to go. You can wind those up quite a bit to get them to go pretty fast, either one. They're going to have slightly different performance characteristics though. Let me show you one of these at a time. Now right there, that is WHACK. And it has 4 tires of equal size. It has flame coming out exhausts on the sides. It has a wing simulated on the back, and it has the same feature that you'll see on Bash with the crashability of the front end. So this is a little lever here that if you hit it hard enough, it'll knock this thing that's, I think, supposed to be a power source or something. I don't know, maybe it's just supposed to be the hood there. It'll knock that off. You do have to get a hard, fast hit with it though. Even just pushing hard, really hard at a slow speed does not really do anything here. You need to get some serious impact into that thing, so I'll have to simulate that separately. See, I mean, that's just not enough to make it happen. It's gonna ultimately pop this off, which just has a single sticker on the top, one of only 3 stickers included with the set or used with the set. The build of this is pretty good. Actually, for its size and number of pieces, I think it's a pretty worthy little chassis setup there. A little bit of body as well, a little bit of roll cage or A-frame pieces here. I like the overall design for what it is. I don't like the crash feature on either. Works the same on each. It just doesn't do that much. It's not spectacular when it happens. It's not like some of the old crack-ups, old cars where you get a very different look to the thing when you crash into the end, or some of the modern toys that have major body pieces that fly off that they were trying to take inspiration from. So I think this thing is just fine and works perfectly well as a pullback car. Gets good acceleration, has really good traction with these tires. They're semi-pneumatic. They conform a little bit to surfaces, and yeah, it's just a fine little toy. Bash has different tires, so different tires than WHACK, and different tires front to rear. These rear tires are actually a good deal taller than the ones on WHACK, and in my own playtesting of these two together, the results from running these side by side matched the theory, matched expectations. Generally, there's a little bit better acceleration with WHACK and a little bit better top speed with Bash, but not always. I didn't find that to always be the case. It's close enough that a little bit, just the slightest bit of variance in when you let them go can make the difference in which one appears to take off more quickly. But this definitely does get higher top speed. So, there's going to be a certain length of race course if you're running the two against each other, at which you'll have a fair fight, but at other lengths you'll have a definite advantage for one or the other based on whether you need acceleration or top speed. That's a little bit unfortunate. I think it would have been much smarter to use the same diameter of tires for each so that they could be raced, since they came out at the same time and they're intended to be raced against each other. I don't like the design of this one quite as much. The flames coming across the body like that doesn't look too good to me. I think it would have looked a little bit better if it was angled up 45 degrees or thereabouts. I appreciate that they've kind of tried to change the arrow on this, made this whole thing a little bit more cab forward in its design. Obviously has a front engine design this time around. I don't know if the other one's supposed to have an engine up front. Look more like a rear engine thing. I like the forward rake of it and everything, but to me these flame pieces really get in the way. But then you take that off and then you've got that missing thing there. Feels like it needs just a piece or two coming down in this area to really finish it off. Even just my finger there starts to bring in some shapes that I think would have made this look a lot better, just in my personal opinion. So between the two, I like the look of the other one better, although the performance of this one, like I said, on longer straights is definitely better with these tires. And these tires get really good traction too on all sorts of surfaces. They actually have a little bit less overall contact with the ground, which helps it to get through dusty stuff more easily and more reliably. Once again, same sort of mechanism on the front where you actually need a hard, fast crash. I feel like this time around I'm showing you the packaging mostly so that you see I'm not kidding about the name of this one. It's right there in all caps even. It's awkward. It's weird. On the back of each of these boxes, you'll see the combo model. There's only one combo model offered up as an option for the two. It just turns it into a six-wheeler, which appears to have a little bit more space between the rear two axles than the front two, which is a little bit awkward, but it's just by virtue of the size of the pullback motor. It's a fairly large unit, and it only works in one direction. These things are actually pretty fun to put together. I think that each is a good use of its parts count. I think that Bash could have been designed just a little bit better to highlight the shape of its cockpit, which kind of really, sets up the tone for the whole thing and gives it more of its personality. But performance is good for each. Not happy with the fact that performance is different between the two since they're intended to race against each other. The crashing feature is kind of underwhelming. I think you would want to do some modification. It does use pieces that are brick-based there, so you can very easily and quickly build up your own kind of engine, hood scoop and supercharger set up there if you want to make that look a lot more interesting when the crash actually occurs. But that's about it for what I have to say about these two small, simple LEGO Technic sets. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.